Alright, this is just going to be the 5B graphing video that I'm going to show you how to use MyLabs Plus to do a couple questions. So this first question, they give me f of -4. And so what that really is telling me, just telling me the x value is -4. So when I go to my graph, again, the x-axis is on here, the horizontal, so I go to where x equals -4. Then I go to where the point is. So you can see the dot right here. That's the point. What's the y value for this point? So I would go over, the y value is 4. So I just type in 4, and I go to my next question. X is -3. So I make it big. I go to where x is -3. I go straight up. It's here, and I go across. The y value is 6. Now, if you notice, -2 is the last one right here, -2. It's also 6. So they're really, both y values for these next two questions are 6. So I can just put those in while I'm doing it here. 6, and I'm just going to enter those things, and there it is. Okay. All right. So when I do these next questions here, there are going to be several of them where they give me the x values and they want the y values. But then they do change it to number 6. They're giving me f of x equals 5. So that's a fancy way of writing y equals 5. And if you notice here, it says x equals something. So I'm looking for the x value. So if I make this big, I go to where y equals 5. Well, y equals 5 is here. If you notice, the graph crosses right there. So if I go straight down, that value is x equals 0. But what also happens is, here is also where y equals 5. If I go straight down, that x value is 2. So there's actually two answers for this section, for this question. And it's 0, 2. And I don't want to use parentheses on this. It just says use a comma to separate the answers. It doesn't type a coordinate. It just says type the x value. So it's 0, 2. So be careful on that. I'll see parentheses occasionally, but don't do that. All right, now I want to do two graphing questions for you using the slope and the intercept. So my first graphing here, it's 9/8 x plus 2. So I know just from looking at the y-intercept is 2 and my slope is 9/8. I want to use the y-intercept and the slope. So now this one's already solved for y, so this is an easy one. So I got to click on the line tool. My y-intercept is 2. Now if you notice, this graph goes up by 2's, doesn't it? So it's kind of a difficult one. You got to be very careful. So I got to click on 2. And then my advice is to use the arrows. So if it's 9/8, so I have to rise 9. So I have to hit the up arrow 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I have to go to the right 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I hit enter, and there's my line. So I click save, I check, and I have my graph done correctly. Now this one I have to solve for the letter y first, so you'd solve it, then you find your slope and intercept. Here's another one where I have to solve for y first. And this last one here I want to do, it is already in y equals format, so I'm going to do this graph. So I'm going to click on this again. Again, the first step is I always plot my y-intercept first. So I go down here, 0, -1. I click, I let go of the mouse. I rise 2 spaces, 1, 2, and then I run over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and so I hit enter. I save. I check my answer. And there we go. And that's just a quick video on how to use the graphing programs on 5B to use slope intercept. And that's all I want to do. It's a quick video.